The evening crowd had just started entering the restaurant when Arjun, a young waiter, walked in through the staff door. On the outside, he looked like a normal boy, quiet, polite, always working hard. But today, something was different. His steps were slow, his shoulders heavy, and his eyes kept looking behind him as if someone was following him in the shadows of the street. Arjun had been working at this restaurant for almost 1 year. Every day he served customers with a soft smile. People often said he was the most humble waiter they had ever met. But no one knew that behind his smile, he carried many responsibilities. His mother was sick, his younger sister still studied in school, and Arjun was the only earning hand in the family. He worked long hours, cleaned tables after closing time, and even did extra shifts whenever needed. He was used to hard life. But he was not used to fear, the kind of fear that had been growing inside him for the past 3 days. It all started on a quiet night. Arjun was walking home after finishing a late shift. The road was almost empty. He heard footsteps behind him. When he turned, he saw a tall man standing under a streetlight, staring directly at him. Arjun felt a strange chill in his body. The man didn't move, didn't smile, didn't blink, just stared. Arjun ignored him and walked faster. But the next night, and the night after that, the same man appeared again, always at a distance, always watching. Now, on this 4th day, Arjun felt the man was getting bolder. In the morning, when Arjun stepped out of his small rented room, he saw the stranger across the street, pretending to check his phone but actually looking at him. Arjun rushed to the bus stop. When he reached the restaurant gate, he saw the same man standing near the corner shop. The man's eyes were cold, and his expression unreadable. Arjun had never seen him before, yet the man acted like he knew everything about him. Inside the restaurant, Arjun tried to ignore the feeling. He changed into his uniform, tied the apron, and went to work. But fear doesn't disappear so easily. Every few minutes, he felt someone watching him. His hands shook a little when he served water. His voice was weaker when he greeted customers. Even his manager noticed his unusual behavior and asked, "Arjun, are you okay?" Arjun simply nodded. He didn't want to explain. He thought the manager would laugh or say he was imagining things. But Arjun was not imagining anything. 30 minutes later, the restaurant door opened again. A cold breeze entered with a man wearing a dark jacket. Arjun froze. It was him. The same stranger, following him for days. The man walked in slowly, scanned the whole place, and then sat at a table near the corner. He didn't ask for a menu. He didn't remove his jacket. He didn't even look around. He only stared straight at Arjun as if he had been waiting for this moment. Arjun's throat became dry. His fingers trembled. He quickly stepped behind a pillar to hide himself. But the man's eyes followed him like a shadow. For a few minutes, Arjun didn't know what to do. Should he tell the manager? Should he call the police? Should he run away? His mind was full of questions, and his heart was beating faster than ever. Then he remembered someone, a woman who visited the restaurant once or twice a week. A woman people respected, and sometimes feared. Her name was Maya. She was strong, confident, and always spoke directly. Arjun had seen her stop a fight outside the restaurant once. She was a person who didn't get scared easily. And strangely, Arjun trusted her more than anyone else. At that very moment, Maya entered the restaurant and sat in her usual corner seat. She didn't notice anything strange yet. But Arjun saw this as his only chance. His only hope. He gathered all his courage, held his breath, and slowly walked toward her table, shaking, scared, and desperate for help. This moment was going to change everything. Maya had just taken her seat when Arjun reached her table, trying his best to look normal. But Maya was a sharp woman. She immediately noticed something was wrong. His hands were shaking slightly, and his eyes looked worried. She raised one eyebrow and asked in her usual calm but strong voice, "Arjun, what happened? Arjun leaned closer. His voice was barely above a whisper. Ma'am, please don't look right now, but a man has been following me for 3 days. He is sitting here. In this restaurant. Maya didn't react with fear or surprise. Instead, she placed her fork down slowly, wiped her hands with a tissue, and looked up at Arjun with serious eyes. Where is he? Arjun moved his eyes toward the corner of the room. He didn't dare turn his head. Maya understood the signal. She acted casual as she reached for her glass of water, pretending to scan the restaurant. Just a quick, simple glance, but enough for her to notice the man Arjun had mentioned. He was sitting stiffly, with his shoulders raised, like someone ready to jump at any moment. He wasn't eating or drinking. He wasn't even pretending. His eyes were locked on Arjun like a predator studying its target. Maya took a slow sip of water. Her face didn't show fear. It didn't show anger either. Just focus. Calm, steady focus. Arjun, she whispered, tell me everything. Start from the beginning. Arjun took a deep breath, his voice trembling. 3 nights ago, when I was going home. I saw him behind me. I thought it was a coincidence. But then he came again the next night. And today he followed me from my room to the bus stop, and even here. I don't know him. I don't know what he wants. Maya listened carefully, like someone putting pieces of a puzzle together. While Arjun spoke, she kept observing the man from the corner of her eye. She noticed things most people would ignore, his tapping foot, his tense shoulders, the way his fingers tapped the table every few seconds. He was waiting. For what? She didn't know, but it was clear he wasn't here for food. Did you tell anyone else? Maya asked. Arjun shook his head. No one would believe me. And I didn't want to create trouble. Maya's voice softened a little. You did the right thing by telling me. Arjun felt a small wave of relief. But fear still sat in his chest like a heavy stone. Without wasting time, Maya called a waiter she trusted and handed him her phone. Go to the manager, she said. Tell him to turn on all security cameras and keep staff alert. Quietly. The waiter nodded and hurried off. Arjun watched her with wide eyes. Ma'am, are you sure we should involve others? Maya gave him a small smile. Fear grows when you face it alone. It becomes smaller when people stand with you. Arjun had never heard such words from anyone before. They gave him courage, just a little, but enough to breathe normally again. Maya then pushed back her chair and stood. Stay here. And don't go near that man. Arjun's heart dropped. Where are you going? To understand what he wants. Arjun grabbed her arm lightly, panic rising. No, ma'am. He might be dangerous. Maya gently removed his hand. And I might be stronger than you think. She walked toward the man with confident footsteps. Each step echoed in Arjun's mind. Maya looked like someone who had faced harder things in life. Someone who didn't break easily. Someone who could stare danger in the eye. When she reached the man's table, she smiled politely and asked, Sir, would you like to order something? For a moment, the man didn't move. His eyes left Arjun, slowly, reluctantly, and rose to meet Maya's. His face was unreadable. His lips barely parted. He didn't say a single word. But his silence said a lot. Maya understood instantly. This man wasn't an ordinary customer. He wasn't here by mistake. He was here for Arjun. And this was only the beginning. The man stared at Maya with such coldness that even she felt something unusual about him. His eyes were sharp, almost emotionless, as if he had practiced hiding his feelings for years. Maya stood calmly, but inside her mind she was studying every detail, his clothes, his body language, the way his jaw tightened each time Arjun moved even a little. Sir, she repeated softly, would you like to order something? Still no answer. The man slowly leaned back in his chair, crossed his arms, and tilted his head slightly, not to look at Maya, but to look over her shoulder at Arjun. It was a small movement, but it made Maya realize something important. His entire focus was only Arjun. No one else mattered. Maya placed a menu gently on his table. "I'll give you a moment," she said. But she didn't walk away immediately. She stood there for 2 extra seconds, silently testing him. The man didn't blink. He didn't shift. It was as if her presence didn't bother him at all. She walked back to Arjun, keeping her posture normal so customers wouldn't notice anything unusual. Arjun's face was pale again. "What did he say?" he asked, almost scared to hear the answer. "Nothing," Maya replied. "He doesn't want food. He wants something else." Arjun swallowed hard. His legs felt weak. "Why me? What does he want from me?" "We'll find out," Maya said. "But first, sit down. You're shaking." Arjun sat on the chair opposite her. Maya leaned forward. "Did you ever see him near your home before this week?" "No," Arjun said quickly. "Never. Any argument with someone recently? Any misunderstanding? Any unpaid bills? Did you help someone? Did you make anyone angry?" Arjun shook his head again. "No. I don't fight with anyone. I only work and go home." Maya believed him. He didn't look like someone who invited trouble. If anything, trouble had found him. Meanwhile, the manager quietly turned on all security cameras after receiving Maya's message. 2 trusted staff members began walking around the restaurant, pretending to check tables, but actually keeping an eye on the suspicious man. But he didn't react. He didn't look afraid. He didn't look like someone who would run. He looked like someone waiting patiently for the right moment. Maya sensed there was more to the story. She texted a close friend in the police, Officer Raghav. She simply wrote, "Need help. Suspicious man following a boy. Restaurant location shared. Keep it quiet." Arjun watched her type and whispered, "Ma'am, I don't want police trouble." Maya replied firmly, "Sometimes police trouble is better than the kind of trouble following you." Arjun nodded slowly, though fear showed in his eyes. He felt like a small bird trapped in a storm. Every time he breathed, he felt the man's eyes digging into his back. Minutes passed. Customers came and went. But the man didn't move. He sat there as still as a stone, watching Arjun like a hunter watches his prey. Every few seconds, his fingers tapped the table. Maya noticed the tapping pattern: 3 taps, pause, 2 taps, pause. It was strange. Almost like a habit formed from stress. She whispered to Arjun, "Have you ever seen him smile or look angry?" "No," Arjun said. "Always the same face. Empty." Maya's mind raced. Men like him don't follow people without a reason. Arjun looked down. "Then why me?" Just then, the door opened and a breeze entered the restaurant. The man's eyes flickered for the first time. Maya looked toward the door. 2 plainclothes police officers entered quietly, pretending to be customers. They took seats near the back. The man noticed them. For the first time, he shifted in his chair. Something changed in his expression, subtle, but dangerous. Maya saw it. Arjun felt it. The atmosphere of the whole restaurant felt tighter, darker, heavier. The man slowly stood up. Arjun froze. Maya whispered urgently, "Don't move." The man took 1 step forward. Then another. Every customer in the restaurant carried on with their meals, unaware that something dangerous was unfolding in front of them. The man's eyes burned into Arjun's soul. And Maya understood one thing clearly. This was no coincidence. This man had a purpose. And he was finally ready to act. The moment the man stood up, Maya felt a sharp wave of danger pass through the room. His movements were slow but filled with silent aggression, like someone who had been planning something for days. Arjun's breath caught in his throat. He felt trapped inside his own body, unable to run, unable to hide. Maya placed her hand gently on Arjun's arm. "Stay seated," she whispered firmly. "Do not get up unless I tell you." Arjun nodded, though fear made his whole body stiff. The man began walking toward them. His eyes were fixed on Arjun, but Maya noticed something else. His jaw was clenched tightly, and his fists were half closed. He looked like someone ready for confrontation but not sure how to begin. Maya stood up slowly, placing herself between the man and Arjun. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't show fear. She simply folded her arms and stared back at him. "What do you want with him?" she asked calmly. The man stopped 2 steps away. For a long moment, he didn't speak. His silence felt heavier than words. Maya could hear Arjun's heartbeat even from behind her. When the man finally spoke, his voice was rough and low. "Move aside." Maya shook her head. "If you have something to say it to me first." The man's eyes narrowed. He clearly didn't like anyone blocking his path. But something in Maya's posture, confidence, strength, maybe authority, made him hesitate. Behind him, the 2 undercover police officers quietly signaled each other. One remained seated, pretending to scroll through his phone. The other casually stepped toward the entrance as if stretching his legs, keeping an eye on the man. "Why are you following him?" Maya asked again, her tone firmer this time. The man finally spoke more clearly. "I need to talk to him." "Talk about what?" Maya pressed. "That is not your concern." "It becomes my concern," she replied, "when you follow a young boy day and night. When you frighten him. When you enter this place and stare at him like he is your target." Arjun shivered hearing the truth spoken aloud. The man didn't answer. Instead, he glanced around the restaurant. Maya noticed his eyes rest briefly on the police officers. His jaw tightened again. He knew they were not regular customers. He stepped back a little, confused, maybe even calculating. Maya used that moment. She leaned slightly toward him and said in a lower tone, "This can end peacefully if you tell me why you're here." The man lifted his head slowly. His voice turned cold again. "It has nothing to do with you. Move." Maya didn't move. Something inside the man snapped. He took one sudden step forward. Arjun gasped. The police officers tensed. Maya stayed still but raised her hand just enough to stop him. "Don't make a mistake," she warned softly. The man's eyes twitched. For the first time, he looked uncertain, as if fighting something inside himself. Then something unexpected happened. A small child from another table ran past them, chasing a toy car. The sudden movement startled the man. He turned quickly, almost defensively. Maya saw it clearly. This man was not just dangerous, he was scared too. His actions weren't normal. His reactions were too sharp, too jumpy. It was like he was under pressure, deep pressure. Before he could walk away, one of the police officers casually approached and said, "Sir, is everything all right here?" The man stiffened. His fists tightened again. Maya stepped forward. "Yes," she said before the officer revealed anything. "He was just leaving." The man turned to her sharply. "No. I'm not leaving." The police officer added quietly, "Maybe step outside for a conversation." The man's chest rose and fell faster now. His eyes darted between Arjun, Maya, and the officers. He looked trapped. Maya realized the situation was reaching a breaking point. If they pushed him too hard, he might do something reckless. If they left him alone, he might attack Arjun. She took a deep breath and said loudly enough for everyone near to hear, "Sir, let's talk outside. Just you and me." Arjun's eyes widened in panic. "Ma'am, no." But Maya lifted her hand again, stopping him. The man slowly nodded. And together, Maya and the mysterious stranger walked toward the restaurant exit. Everyone held their breath. Especially Arjun. Because whatever happened outside would change everything. Outside the restaurant, the evening air felt colder than usual. Maya walked out first, the mysterious man following a few steps behind her. The two undercover officers quietly positioned themselves near the door, pretending to watch traffic. Inside, Arjun anxiously stood near a window, trying to see what was happening, his heart racing like never before. Maya stopped under the streetlight. The man stopped too, but kept a small distance, as if unsure how close he should stand. His eyes were restless now, not calm like before. His chest rose and fell quickly. "Now talk," Maya said, her tone firm but not aggressive. "Why are you following that boy?" The man looked away. "I don't want to involve you." "You already involved me," she replied. "And you scared him. So speak." For a moment, the man remained silent. His fingers twitched nervously. He looked like someone who had been holding a secret for too long, a secret burning inside him, pushing him to the edge. Finally, he muttered, "It's his father." Maya didn't expect that. His father? What about him? The man exhaled sharply as if the truth was heavy on his tongue. "His father owes me money. A lot of money. He borrowed it 6 months ago and disappeared. No calls. No messages. Nothing." Maya crossed her arms. "So you followed the boy? Why? To threaten him?" The man shook his head quickly. "No. I never wanted to hurt him. I didn't know how else to find his father. I thought the boy might know something." Maya's eyes narrowed. "You could have spoken to him directly. Why act like a shadow in the dark?" The man lowered his gaze, shame flickering on his face. "Because I didn't want the police involved. I run a small loan shop. If the police came to know I gave money off the books, my business would be ruined." Maya studied him carefully. He wasn't lying, she could tell. His voice didn't shake when he spoke about the money. But when he mentioned Arjun, something softer appeared in his eyes, something human. "So what exactly did you want from the boy?" Maya asked. "I wanted him to give me his father's location," the man replied. "But he always left work late, traveled in crowded places, and walked fast. I was waiting for the right moment to talk. I didn't want people to think I was threatening him." Maya let out a slow breath. "Well, you failed at that. You frightened him badly." The man rubbed his hands nervously. I know. That wasn't my intention." Inside, Arjun stepped outside, unable to wait any longer. "Ma'am, is everything all right?" he called out. The man turned towards him. For the first time, Arjun saw something other than coldness in the man's eyes, guilt. "Arjun," Maya said, "he says your father borrowed money and disappeared." Arjun's face fell instantly. His eyes reddened with pain. "My father left months ago, without telling anyone. We don't know where he is." The man stared at Arjun in shock. You don't know." Arjun shook his head silently. His voice cracked. "If I knew, I would tell you. My family is already suffering because of him." For the first time, the man's shoulders dropped. His anger melted into something softer, regret. He stepped closer, but not too close. "Boy. I never wanted to harm you. I thought maybe you were lying. I thought you were hiding him." Arjun wiped his eyes. "Why would I hide someone who abandoned us?" Silence covered the street for a long moment. Maya broke it softly. So now you know the truth. This boy is innocent. The man nodded slowly. Yes. I see that now. One of the plainclothes officers approached casually. Is everything under control here? Maya nodded. Yes. No violence. Just misunderstanding. The officer studied the man carefully, then stepped back, keeping watch. The man took another deep breath, then spoke directly to Arjun. I'm sorry. Truly. I shouldn't have followed you. I should have talked. I let my frustration blind me. Arjun didn't answer immediately, but his fear slowly faded. Maya placed a hand on Arjun's shoulder. Sometimes adults make mistakes that children pay for. The man looked down, ashamed. I will not trouble you again. At that moment, Arjun realized something important. The fear he carried for days wasn't because of danger, but because of silence. And silence had finally broken. After the truth came out, the tension around the restaurant slowly faded. The police officers stepped back, watching quietly to make sure nothing unexpected happened. The street was calm again, but Arjun stood there with mixed emotions, fear, confusion, and a strange heaviness in his chest. He didn't know whether to feel relieved or broken. The man who had followed him looked completely different now. His shoulders, once stiff with anger, were lowered. His expression wasn't cold anymore, it looked tired. Deeply tired, like someone who had been running after a problem for too long. Maya looked at both of them. She had faced many difficult situations in life, but something about this one felt personal. Money issues can be solved, she said softly. But fear and stress can destroy a person. You frightened this boy more than you realize. The man nodded. I know. I'm sorry. Arjun looked down at his shoes. His voice trembled as he said, My family is already struggling. When my father left, everything fell on me. The man stared at him, shocked. I didn't know he ran away like that. He did, Arjun said quietly. He left without a single word. My mother cried for weeks. I had to start working here to support them. The man's face softened with guilt. I never wanted to make your life harder. Maya stepped between them. Then don't. There will be no more following. No more shadows. If you need something, speak clearly. If the money is the problem, we will talk. The man blinked. We. Maya gave a small nod. Yes. Me, and the people who care for this boy. Just then, the restaurant manager came outside with two other staff members. They had been worried and listened from the door. The manager placed a hand on Arjun's back. We heard everything, he said. Arjun is like family here. You should have told us earlier. Arjun felt his throat close with emotion. I thought no one would believe me. The manager shook his head. We believe you. We always have. Another staff member, an older waiter, spoke softly. How much money does his father owe? The man hesitated. 40,000. Arjun's eyes widened. We don't have that kind of money. But before despair could settle, Maya took out her phone and said, We will collect it. The man looked shocked. You don't have to. Maya held up a hand. Arjun is not responsible for his father's mistakes. And he shouldn't suffer because of them. To Arjun's surprise, within minutes, the manager contributed some amount. Then the staff joined. Even the undercover officers, touched by the situation, quietly offered to help. Maya added a large portion herself without blinking. Arjun watched with tears in his eyes as people who barely had much themselves put whatever they could into a small bag. They didn't do it out of duty. They did it out of love. When the total amount was counted, the man froze. It was enough. More than enough. He stared at the group in disbelief. Why would you all do this? Maya answered calmly, because this boy works hard. Because he deserves peace. And because sometimes, kindness fixes what anger cannot. Arjun wiped his tears with the back of his hand. He was overwhelmed, not by fear this time, but by gratitude. Thank you, he whispered. All of you, thank you. The man accepted the money slowly, almost embarrassed. I will never disturb you again, he said sincerely. I was wrong. I judged you without understanding. Arjun nodded. I forgive you. A quiet moment of peace settled among them. The man stepped back, gave one last apologetic look, and walked away down the street, not like a predator this time, but like a man who finally understood the damage his actions caused. As he disappeared, Maya placed her hand on Arjun's shoulder. You see, she said with a gentle smile. People care. You are not alone. Inside the restaurant, customers and staff welcomed Arjun back with warm smiles and pats on the back. For the first time in days, he felt safe. Truly safe. What amazed everyone most was not the confrontation. Not the truth. Not even the man's change of heart. It was the way an entire restaurant, strangers, police, workers, and one tough woman, came together for a boy who thought he had no one. And that night, Arjun learned something he would never forget. Sometimes, the strongest people are the ones who stand beside you when you least expect it.